Samaritan's Purse has been one of our long-term partners at Tenwek Hospital, and that began many years ago with Dr. Ernie Sturry and Franklin Graham meeting for the first time here at Tenwek, and Franklin really catching a vision for what was happening.
Right now, I'm standing in Kenya, East Africa, a place called Tenwek Hospital, where the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association has had the opportunity of making a unique investment in the spreading of the gospel of Jesus Christ.
Through Samaritan's Purse's efforts, they raised funds for one of the early buildings. That began that relationship, and that's continued over the years. They've worked with us on most of the major projects here at Tenwek Hospital. The whole development of cardiac surgery at Tenwek was never on my radar. It was not something I intended or really thought possible. In fact, Franklin Graham was here, and he and I went on a tour of the hospital. And at that time, he asked me, he said, "Russ, what do you think about a heart hospital here at Tenwek?" And I told him, "We don't have the equipment, we don't have the staff, let's just forget about it." So we forgot about it. Then, over the years, my eyes were opened to the number of people, mostly young people, who really need life-saving heart surgery. Once we started doing these cases, kids just came out of the woodwork, essentially. So we began. I felt that we are severely limited by our space. We have one operating room 4 days a week. And we have a list of 850 patients waiting for heart surgery. That means that every week somebody on that list dies that we could have saved, and we just don't have the capability to handle it. I felt like the Lord was speaking to me, saying, let's build a new unit. We were able to purchase a piece of land, and that began the vision of the new Cardiothoracic Centre.
The impact that this center is going to have on this community and on this country and on this region is going to be massive.
This Cardiothoracic Center will be the largest dedicated cardiothoracic unit in sub-Saharan Africa.
One of the biggest focuses around this Cardiothoracic Center is training. There's a number of simulation rooms in the training facility so that people can get trained real world with some of the best equipment available in the market.
We're looking at about an 80,000 square foot facility. Our capacity in the new unit, I'm looking at close to 2,000 heart cases a year that we can do. And I think we can finally make a real dent in that waiting list and take care of the thousands of patients who are out there in need.
This is going to be one of the best facilities you've ever worked in, where your primary focus is not on the hospital or where you're working, but it's on who you're impacting and really making a difference for the kingdom of God.
So we've really come, in a sense, full circle here. We are now training doctors to go back to other countries. Rather than having to depend on Western doctors coming, we will have African doctors who are well qualified. And I can tell you, our trainees are excellent, excellent doctors.
This is a testament of people who committed to make a difference where otherwise there would not be any chance for millions of people.
The new Cardiothoracic Centre will not only be a place for healing physical hearts, but will be a place for healing spiritual broken hearts.
The dream was big. The dream was a dedicated cardiothoracic unit in which we would have more space and more staff to take care of these patients. Because we're not building for next year or the next 5 years, we're building for the next many generations.
This is going to be a real beacon of hope for many people across Africa.